purpose of the relationship between a rabbi and a student, a rabbi and a congregation, is in order to grow strong together and help each other get closer to Kiddush Baruch Hu. As we discussed in last week's Torah portion, we were introduced a new biblical character, and this character's name is Bitzalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, from the tribe of Judah. And last week, anyone can look back at that YouTube video, it's from last week, Zera Shimshon. We went through the genealogy, the proper heritage of who this individual was. But one thing was certain, is that he was, as the Torah puts it, and as Moses now again reiterates in this week's Torah portion, the grandson of Hur. The Zera Shimshon says, on the verse, chapter 35, verse 30, Vayomer Moshe el b'nei Yisrael, Moses tells the Jewish people, Re'u kara Adonai b'shem Betzalel b'roni b'chur l'matei Yehuda. Look, God is called upon. God has nominated, along with us, this individual, this Bitzalel, to be the supervisor over the construction of this Mishkan. And the Zera Shimshon asks, why is Moses portraying Bitzalel as such? The son of Uri, the son of Hur, from the tribe of Judah. Just tell us Bitzalel, we know who he was. What's he doing by telling us again who he is, and in a very lengthy and detailed way? Just to remind us, Bitzalel was 13 years old. He was 13 years old, and as the Torah told us in last week's Torah portion, God filled him up with wisdom and knowledge and filled him up with the Spirit of God. He was chosen specifically for this. The Zera Shimshon says, why is Moses referring to him again as the son of Uri and the son of Hur to the tribe of Judah? He quotes to us a Midrash. The Midrash tells us that when the Jewish people saw that Moses was coming down late on their time, because they miscalculated, they were freaking out. And the Erev Rav, the mixed multitude, which were the Egyptians who came in and they came along, they were the mixed multitude, they came along with the Jewish people when they left, they started mustering them up. Look at this, it's all a fake. Can you believe how the Jewish people fell for it? Look how Jewish people are so gullible. Look, it's a fake! This is after the 10 plagues, the splitting of the sea, the Sinai revelation. Where's your Moses? Aha! He's gone. He's nowhere to be found. Let's make a new God. Let's make a golden calf. And they fell for it. And they came and they approached the leaders of the Jewish people. And they said, obviously Moses was still up at Mount Sinai, make us a new God. And Hur, which was the nephew of Moses, the son of Miriam, he gets up and protests, absolutely not. Cold-bloodedly, they struck him down, they killed him. That was the end of Hur. Then they turned to Aaron. They tell Aaron, make us a God. So Aaron thought, wow, if I say no, they'll kill me. So what should I say? Let me say yes, try to buy some time, and in the meantime, Moses will come down. Unfortunately, the Yetzer Hara worked very fast and brought along the golden calf, unfortunately, too speedily. Now, the Jewish people were forgiven for the sin of the golden calf. As severe as the sin of the golden calf was, God did forgive them. Do you know what the sin of the golden calf was likened to? Our Chachamim tell us. They tell us, imagine a bride and a groom at their chuppah, at their canopy, their wedding. Right after they get married, on the way out, on the way to the ballroom, the bride says, 1 second, I need to go to the restroom. And the groom says, sure, no problem. In the meantime, he's kibitzing with his family, with his friends. 5 minutes, 10 minutes passed. So the groom goes to the bathroom, starts knocking on the door. No answer. Another 5 minutes. That's already 15 minutes. He starts knocking. No answer. Tries to push the door. It's locked. He's getting worried. What's going on? 20 minutes passes by, and conveniently she opens the door and comes out. The groom asks, "What happened? Is everything okay?" "Yeah, sure. Everything's fine. No problem," she answers. And he peeks in and he sees in the room another man. And it was obvious what had happened. As amusing or as ridiculous as this story sounds, this is what Chachamim say the Jewish people did to God. God took the Jewish people as their spouse, as his spouse. He married the Jewish people. The Torah was the ketubah, was the marriage document. He being the groom, us being the bride. And while Moses was going and finalizing that final document, finalizing the ketubah with the groom, God, the Jewish people cheated on God. Similar to that anecdote. It's something very serious. And as severe and as unforgivable that was, God still forgave the Jewish people. And he proved that he forgave us. That was the whole purpose of the Mishkan. This tabernacle, the Bet HaMikdash eventually, was a proof that God forgave the Jewish people. He said, all of that gold that you put in that golden calf, you will now redonate those amounts and more in order to build a glorious home for me to settle in. Now the Zera Shimshon takes an observation and says, the Jewish people were forgiven for the sin of the golden calf. But what about the murdering of Hur? Where do we see that they were forgiven for that? Maybe they're always going to feel that heavy stone in their hearts, that they've done something that they were not forgiven for. To that, the Zera Shimshon says, Moses alluded to them that this Mishkan not only served as an atonement for the sin of the golden calf, but also for the sin that preceded it. The sin of murdering Hur cold-bloodedly. And you know how? Because his son, his grandson, Bitzalel, Hur's grandson, was given the merit to be the supervisor over the construction. Not only was he given the merit, but the Midrash that we earlier quoted said that Hur stood up and he displayed a Kiddush Hashem, a sanctification of God's name, not doing something which is wrong in the name of God. And because he did so, God told him, even though you were murdered, your name will be forever remembered and honored. Here he is honored because the supervisor of the Mishkan is none other than Bitzalel, the grandson of Hur. And that's why the Zera Shimshon says, Moses, when retelling everybody, you know who the chosen supervisor is. It's the 13-year-old bar mitzvah boy. It's Bitzalel. It's Bitzalel, the grandson of Hur. Because not only are you forgiven for the sin of the golden calf, you're forgiven for what you did to Hur. This Mishkan, its building and its operation, both come as an atonement for the two sins that were done. The murder of Hur and as well as the sin of the golden calf. To us, this means something very important. To us, it means, as Hur did and stood up to do a Kiddush Hashem, a sanctification of God's name, it's not always easy to do what's right. But no good deed will go unforgotten. God sees and God knows everything. Doing the right thing is always hard. More often than not, it's hard. But there is merit, and there is honor, and there is pride, and there is reward. So we have to make sure to do the right thing. Hur, his life was ended. Poor guy. We could say it that way, poor guy. But lucky, he became a martyr. He became a martyr who his name was forever remembered through his grandson, who was given the ultimate opportunity of supervising the construction of this Mishkan. Let us live, let's not be martyrs, but let us live with the sanctification of God's name. Let us be examples for our children and our grandchildren to always remember Abba, Ima, Saba, Safta as individuals who lived with the Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying God's name and spreading God's awesomeness, His wisdom, His morale, and His ethics on the whole world.